Hello, listener, and welcome back to another episode of Never Morphed, the podcast in which I read the Animorphs books for the first time as a big kid. How old am I? 30... 33? 33? I don't know. This episode, let me tell you, I was thinking to myself, should I split this into 2 episodes? It's probably just about long enough. But the thing is, this book is so fucking stupid. If you have not read this book, listener, if you are not like keeping up with the books, this one, you're not ready. You're not ready for what's about to occur. I wasn't ready for what's about to occur. I wasn't ready for any of it. I'm still not. Why'd they do this one like this? Anyway, I'm joined by the incredible Max Kreisky, who is so funny. He is the creator of True Tales of the Illuminati, Wizard Seeking Wizard, and the new Field Trip Sketch Comedy Presents, which I will have a feed drop of in the feed soon. It's so funny. It's so good. And as you'll hear, we recorded for the first time when the Elemist got me. So long story short, those files are gone forever. I truly have no idea. I know that I saved them. Where did I save them to? Who knows? The amount of things I did to try to find those recordings, it's a lot. And again, ultimately, does this book deserve it? No. But Max is very funny. I'm so glad that I got another opportunity to talk to him. He's the best. And you can find, again, his work in the show notes. So all in one fell swoop, buddy. Book 14, let's go. Max, thank you so much for joining me again for this Never Morphed about book 14, The Unknown, a stupid one.
This one's really stupid, and I think it's going to be just as stupid the second time we talk about it as the first.
So, listeners, if you recall, the Elemist got me last year, by which I mean I was having profound short-term memory loss without realizing it. Now, what did I do during that time? I recorded Nevermore 14 with Max. Where did that recording go? Who's to say? I did deep file searches on all of my devices for all of the audio files from the date that we set to record. I downloaded a program to specifically go through my trash and recover any files it possibly could. Nothing. So here we are again. And at least this time, we're recording on the place that I usually record, and that means that this time, Max, you'll be able to hear when I laugh at your jokes, because last time,
Hooray.
We got volume suppression when I laughed really fucking loud, so you heard silence.
Yeah, I would make a joke, and then it would just be silence for like a full 2 seconds, and I'd be like, damn, I guess Will's mad as hell.
Meanwhile, I was crying, laughing in the background. Yes, this will be much better.
Yeah.
So I gotta kind of set the scene here, because the book before this one, the 2 book experiences I had before this one was the Andalite Chronicles, in which we learned out. We learned it out.
We explored our bodies, and the Animorphs especially explored their bodies, as they do every book.
So
it's a metaphor for puberty, Will.
Of course. Nothing else. A metaphor for nothing.
What else would it be? They all wake up and it's all been a shared dream they've been having in their puberty class.
War's never been real. So
I've never seen it.
So we learned in the last 2 books, one, that Elfangor is Tobias's dad, sure. And then we also found out that Tobias, through Elemist powers, can now morph back into his own human form. And it ends with a cliffhanger.
I'm glad his problems were solved forever.
Yeah, definitely. He'll never have more problems after this. If I know anything about Tobias, it's that he usually just has one solvable problem. That's it.
We're also happy for him that it's gotten solved. It's all milkshakes and Shake Shack burgers from here on in.
So the last book, book 13, ends off with a cliffhanger of him showing up to an event where Rachel is getting an award. He's in his human form again. Nobody knows this is going to happen, and he shows up and it's a cliffhanger and we get none of the reactions. So obviously, coming into this book, I was like, oh, I'm so excited for all of the reactions, all of the processing, all of the discussion. And this book,
it gets really into it, right?
No! They never fucking talk about it!
With all that lead up, with all the lead up you just gave, all the runway, I bet it really satisfied your expectations.
Yeah, instead we got this book of horses and aliens. So, like, a different kind of alien, too. Not even normal alien shenanigans. Like, the dumbest alien shenanigans imaginable. We're talking Area 51.
That's pretty Scooby-Doo, as I recall. Yeah.
Deeply Scooby-Doo. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Chapter 1, this is a Cassie perspective book. It has, I think, easily the worst cover so far. She's really doing a, like, welcome to Chili's type pose on the cover. She's just acting normal at the start of this book. And my notes start off in all caps. Literally, the first things I wrote here were, I can't believe we're acting like anything is normal. There hasn't even been a mention of Tobias yet. His name has not even occurred in the book yet. What are we doing here? What are you talking about? What is the matter with you? What are you talking about? Hello? Hello? Those are my first notes.
And what did the book have to say for itself?
The book had to say that it's a normal intro chapter. And the whole focus is that, like, Cassie, she's not a fashion girly. Her jeans, they're too old. They're too short. And they're gross. And they're yucky. So Rachel says,
why she doesn't even think about her gross old jeans even once. That's how little of a fashion girly she is. It doesn't occur to her internal monologue to deny that she's a fashion girly. Why would it?
Why would it? She has no thoughts about these jeans, and Rachel is simply appalled about this. So Rachel is like, I'll tend to these sick horses if you let me if I can pick new jeans for you. And Cassie's like, hell yeah. And then the chapter says, and that's how we ended up discovering the evil horses that threatened all of humanity. Okay. That's chapter 1.
I do kind of wish that they had followed up a little more on the jeans subplot. You know, are the evil horses wearing jeans? Do the evil horses think the jeans look good? What kind of denim are they?
I do want to know about their opinions on the jeans. Yeah.
Are they like acid washed? Or is she going for like the vibrant blue? Pretty distressed because she works on a farm already. That's kind of redundant.
It's true. I feel like I feel like she would be really focused on distressing the genes herself if she had any thoughts about the genes in the first place.
Which she doesn't. Why would she even bring them up?
Exactly.
It's not like she's got some boy to impress.
So at this point, so like immediately pretty much, I start in my notes titling the chapters just basically tracking, like, are we gonna fucking talk about Tobias? So chapter 2 I have titled Still No Fucking Tobias Mention. So they are going to they're going to, quote unquote, the dry lands to see a woman named Crazy Helen in a souvenir shop trailer in the shrublands. And this is, listeners, you know, my desperate pleas to figure out where the fuck these books take place. And this really gave me, obviously, like Southwest American vibes. So I was like, maybe it is California, because we know that they're by a coast. We know that they're by an ocean.
It's West Springfield, where the biome radically changes.
Yes, yes.
Which the West Springfield, which is 3 times the size of Texas.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so this is West Coast. And then immediately it became clear to me that literally nothing in this book fucking matters. So I'm not gonna take stock of this in regards to trying to dox the Animorphs. It's irrelevant information. It is West Springfield. So they are talking to Crazy Helen, and she is saying that a horse is around acting like it ate, quote unquote, loco weed. And Crazy Helen is talking about, she thinks that aliens are talking to her through her teeth. And she says that Martians are good. They're good guys, and we need to trust them. They are out here to see to this horse and figure out what the fuck is going on with this horse because it's acting weird. So they go out to the horse, and the horse is wobbling, and they're like, that's fucking weird. And they're looking at the horse.
That horse ate some plant that contains swainsonine, an alkaloid harmful to livestock.
Oh, horsey, don't do that. I'm sure that's all that's wrong with the horse.
It's a common name in North America for any plant that produces swainsonine.
Yeah, so when I first read this, I did think that this was like a sort of grown-up euphemism for saying that the horse ate like salvia or something. I don't know why I thought that in this book, but I was convinced.
Also, salvia is not active if you eat it.
Really? I have never done salvia. It seems very fucking scary.
In college, I had friends who described salvia to me and who showed me videos of people doing salvia. And I was like, and you do this on purpose?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot of things where I'm like, wouldn't risk it, but do understand. This one, I'm like, what could
send you to hell for 10 minutes,
you?
But like, it feels like an eternity. You experience total ego death. I had to use the litany against fear from Dune to rebuild my sense of self.
That's the drug for me.
You got to be more normal about Dune.
So the salvia / loco weed seems to be perhaps less correct because they watch the horse go over to a payphone and try to make a phone call. And they're like, hey, that horse is making a phone call. The horse is making a phone call. And Cassie's dad is like, but what? No, no. Certainly this is just a snake bite. The horse is doing this because snake bite make her crazy. And they're like, yeah, I don't think snake bites make horses understand the concept of telephones. But he's taking this very lightly. And of course, no, it's a yerk. They watch a yerk pop out of the horsey head. And then a pale, mid-size stallion comes up to the other horse, looks at them, looks at the horse that is now unyerked, looks at the yerk. The yerk is trying to reach up into him.
I had a really dynamite joke about that horse reciting the horse's litany against fear from Horse Dune.
No, please do it again.
Which I think, that was it mostly. I think horses could use a litany against fear because, they can like see a balloon and have a heart attack.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. What would the horse litany against fear be?
I think it would be the same, but mostly conveyed in nays and stamps.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not bringing it back in English, I see.
No, it's not translating back in.
So the stallion is looking between the unyerked horse, the yerk trying to get up to him, and the animorphs, Cassie and Rachel, and then that stallion bolts away. It runs. It's like, absolutely fucking not. I'm getting out of here. Cassie is like, we also maybe should run about this.
Should we run about this?
Yeah. Should we run about this? So then we cut to chapter 3. Chapter 3, still no fucking Tobias mentioned in my notes. And Cassie has woken up inside alien nerd paradise. It is filled with alien nerd merch, including merch
all sorts of litanies against Dune in every media possible. Keychains, hats, t-shirts, even printed on the side of some sick pumas.
Pumas with the litany against fear. It's so fucking funny. Hold on.
It leaves them in your, at least printed on the tread, so it leaves them in your footsteps.
I love the idea that each footstep is just a super compressed little paragraph.
Yeah. We've got the technology. Why not?
Well, they could do Heelys too, so that it's like one long ongoing line, with the wheels.
You'd have to have one big fucking wheel, though.
My litany against fear, unicycle Heelys. This is what this book deserves.
I think a clown could use a unicycle against fear, a unicycle litany against fear tread, for
I
the
agree.
kids.
So I love that this room, it includes merch from Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Barbarella. Like, it's so unserious.
Those are the big two. Also, Barbarella doesn't really have aliens in it.
I know! I don't know why this was included. There's signs and merch all over for Zone 91, which is obviously Area 51. And Cassie, waking up, realizes that she got knocked out in a Dracon beam explosion, but like she's okay somehow. And Crazy Helen says it's the aliens, and like, yeah, it sure is. Cassie's dad is explaining away this explosion that happened and knocked Cassie out by saying it's a...
Probably you just wandered into some marsh gas that exploded when you tried to light up a spliff. I know you've been smoking. I've been meaning to talk about it.
He says it's the nearby Air Force base. Okay. But then he said it was probably being set off by the horse.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. Well, think about it. Cows produce methane when they fart. Horses, also ungulates. I don't see why they wouldn't. And, a horse wears horseshoes made of steel.
That's
and
true.
Flint is naturally occurring. So I'm just saying horses are a constant fire hazard.
Horses there's a kind of hazard that horses are not?
I don't think they're radioactive, or at least not strongly.
I think there's probably some that are.
I know that, okay, look, there are definitely radioactive horses.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think I don't think it's fair to say that all horses are radioactive. It's a squares and rectangles thing.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I shouldn't be horse racist. So.
No. Well, many are. In fact, there's a big event every year for horse racists. They put on big hats and everything.
Yeah, we'll get there soon. Fucking book. Okay, chapter 4. Tobias mentioned far too casually in my notes. They're at the mall now doing a mall intro thing. One thing is very interesting. Marco is talking bullshit, as is his way, and he says, or Cassie is talking about Marco, and Marco and Jake, like, talking about bullshit, and she says in the narration, "I'm not kidding. They once spent an entire Saturday arguing whether something could taste like a color. I seem to remember that Marco thought cheese actually tasted green." Hey, Marco, that's synesthesia. Marco, you canonically have synesthesia. What? What?
Anyone can have it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I have it. I have it with, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on this podcast.
We talked about it the last time we did this episode.
Oh my God, of course I did. I don't remember because of the reasons. Yeah, I have a kind of synesthesia where sounds, sometimes voices, sometimes sound effects, sometimes music and instruments, but just like different kinds of sounds have tastes and like textures, like a kind of tactile sensation, usually around my teeth or my head. It's very strange. And I thought that was normal until like a handful of years ago. So we're in this chapter, we're basically just doing like a typical group introduction as we usually do. And then Tobias is mentioned. He is just mentioned and introduced. And everyone is acting really normal. And in my notes, here is my recounting in my notes. What are we doing here? Be for real. Look at me with your eyes. What are we doing here? Listen to me. What are we doing here? Come on, be for real. Those are my feelings.
I like that you're telling the book to look you in the eyes. Yeah. It's doing that by default.
It is, but I need it to look with intention.
You need it to see, not just look. It's a deft philosophical distinction.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And then chapter 5, I have like hardly any notes. Chapter 5, in my notes, Tobias situation, pending acceptable emotional ... something. And my notes are just, she wears her new clothes to school. Most boys are stupid. Jake is nice. Marco is annoying. What the fuck are we doing here? That's the chapter.
It's been a real stressful few books and Animorphs. Sometimes you need a silly one, just to cleanse the palate. So everything else feels grounded. So that there's, the stakes mean something. If it's all just, robot guns and getting yerked and traveling through time, you lose sight of these are people. But also, come on, people, talk about Tobias.
Please.
At least have him be like, man, I haven't had a non-mouse meal in a while. I think he might have said that. I don't remember.
Maybe. The thing is, I would have appreciated this book so much more in any other place in the series. This book made me lose my fucking mind.
Honestly, I think that's kind of what I like about it, is how stupid it is. I was reading it, I was like, man, if these are all this stupid, I got to read more of these.
I mean, you should do it anyway because they're perfect. But also, Chapter 6. This is another very short notes one. I am increasingly disturbed by the incorrect reactions to the Tobias situation. Notes are, they morph into birds. That's like it.
Yeah. They turn into birds so they can go fly over to the military base, as I recall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And they're not wearing jeans. They're all wearing like onesies, I want to say.
Yeah,
like,
they've got like leotards and
wetsuits.
tights. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're morph outfits.
Yeah. Terrible to have on in the desert.
Oh, God.
You want loose, billowy robes.
True. Yeah. I have been in leotards and tights and what have you at about this age in the Arizona desert, and let me tell you, it is one of the worst sensory experiences imaginable.
Yeah, I feel like you just turn into like a water balloon, but you're also dehydrated somehow.
So, chapter 7, am I losing my mind? They fly to Area 51 and that's pretty much it. They fly to Area 51. Also, Axe is not with them, and I don't know why. Everyone is acting completely chill and normal. I don't know why, but it's fine. Chapter 8, come on, is my note here. So they make it to Area 51, and they demorph behind some rocks into people form. But because this is by like an Air Force or a military base, it's like super protected government territory. So they're immediately swarmed by soldiers with automatic rifles, like immediately on these human children. There's something about every time like guns show up in these books, because it's usually like Dracon beams. It's usually like a laser sort of situation where it's like kind of goofy. Automatic rifles in these books pointed at children is so fucking upsetting in I would say a way that is unusual for Animorphs, but no, it's not, because these books are really good at being really upsetting.
But there was definitely a thing in like the 90s. If you like watch X-Files or what have you, there's often a lot of stuff where, and I haven't watched X-Files, but I've been told, where like the military and like being a soldier, you were really viewed as like you're programmed into an order following kill machine.
Yeah.
And it's only kind of post 9/11 when the military gets the PR for the military changes in ways that we don't have time to explore on this podcast.
Yes.
That troops are sort of seen as like, oh, it's a guy holding this gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sucks for them.
Yes. I would say like quite a bit post 9/11, getting into our like Jarhead era, but
moisturized in my Jarhead era.
So they're being transported and
really
searched by these soldiers. They're being checked for weapons and contraband. They've got nothing on them, obviously. Their shoes are taken. I don't know why. Marco says that they got here via aliens, because they're like, how the fuck did you get here? And he says, aliens. That's what Marco goes with as their cover. So chapter 9. Chapter 9.
He's just ADHD king doing his best, you know?
I absolutely adore him. I will say in this book, he dropped in my rankings a little bit, but he is overall my favorite. overall my favorite. So obviously Marco's it was the aliens gambit does not fucking work. Obviously. So they're being
the first time in history it hasn't.
The officer is interrogating them. And Marco is being deeply unserious, as is his way. And the officer is like, do you understand?
Power.
No. The officer is like, do you understand that you are currently in fucking trouble? You are not supposed to be here. Rachel and Cassie are like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry, our mistake. Sorry, we didn't know. Oh, sorry. Marco, meanwhile, is like, alien, I want to see an alien. I'm obsessed with him.
I mean, what if it worked? You know, Marco is like the character, the player in the RPG group who's just being like, look, we got an objective. We're going there as directly as possible. I just got to say the right combination of stuff to shortcut the NPC's logic circuits. He's trying to speed run Area 91.
He really is. He's in here like, give me those console codes.
Mm-hmm. He's like the guy who walks up and slaps the king in his robes just to see what happens. Yeah.
So the officer tells them to put down their names, their parents' phone numbers, because like clearly something is awry here. Something is not correct. So they all put down fake names and numbers, and they all do a really fucking bad job. Marco puts down his name as Fox Mulder. Of course he does. And the phone number... Full circle. He puts down the phone number for a sports score recording. Like, you call and get sports scores. I'm sure this was a thing in the 90s. Yeah.
I used to have to call a phone line to get movie times.
Oh, that's
sports
right.
scores, the weather. Yeah.
That's so true. Wow.
We didn't used to have the internet, Will. It was a different time.
That's
true. Or we
true.
did, but it wasn't, with you everywhere you went.
Baby internet. And it wasn't with you. You had to go to it. Kind of nostalgic.
I wasn't able to walk on its own yet.
Yeah.
Me too, honestly.
Me too.
It was nice when the internet was a place, and then when you weren't at the internet, you were like walking around being like, man, I can't wait to get back on that internet. Instead of now, it's like, the internet followed me. Please, yes. Just some peace.
Please, I beg of you. Away. Please, internet, please. Rachel has put down her name as Dana Scully, of course. She puts down the phone number for Pizza Hut delivery. Cassie fully fucking panics, even more than these two. She puts down her name as Cindy Crawford, and she puts down her phone number as 1234567 No.
Cassie, that's too many numbers.
No, numbers work. Cassie, that's not how phone numbers work. So the officer...
They're always relying on me like, yeah, these guys are in the military. They have no experience of pop culture. They're kill machines.
Yeah. This book's so stupid. So the officer goes to call their parents with these fake-ass numbers. And while that happens, they morph cockroaches. And then they escape out of the door when the officer comes back. I'm sure this will have no repercussions.
I remember this was a particularly upsetting morph scene.
Yes. Yes. I mean, in fairness, the bugs always are. I would say that the cockroaches are shockingly, one of the least vile bug transformations. It's still one of the most vile overall because it's still a bug. But it's nowhere close to like ants, or even, I think that the flies were worse, but this was certainly, regardless, repulsive, just disgusting. Chapter 10, by now I'm like, in the chapter titles, I'm like giving up. I'm like gaslighting myself. Chapter 10, I just say, am I the problem? I don't think I was. I don't think I was, but I was trying to convince myself that I was the problem with this book.
Well, you deserve so much better. You don't need to make yourself smaller to read this book.
Smaller. Make myself smaller. Like a cockroach.
Like a cockroach. Full circle.
Full circle. So chapter 10, they're running amok as roaches. They are on the concrete, which is like burning them up because they're in Nevada or whatever. And the concrete in the American Southwest will burn you, like very for real.
Usually it's a griddle.
Yes. Yeah. It is like famously an Arizona rite of passage is to fry an egg on the sidewalk in the summer. I have done it. It does work. You can also bake cookies by leaving them in your car on the dashboard in the summer. That is a real thing.
Man, fuck that state.
Fuck that state. Yeah.
Although I guess, I live in Boston and you can make frozen delights by leaving them outside. So,
that's true.
That's the opposite way.
Yeah, but the difference is...
We just had a big snowstorm, actually. It's so pretty.
Yeah, we're being hit right now like crazy. It's 12 degrees outside right now. Wintertime. I'll take this over the summer any day. At least I have blankies.
It's easier to get a blankie than it is to get to de-blankify in the summer.
Yeah, like...
There's like a minute. You can't go below skin level in the summer is what I'm saying here.
No, but you sure will want to.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're running amok, there is a, quote, column of vehicles headed their way.
Yeah, they heard about these radical teens and they need to kill them.
Exactly. Tobias
I think last time we did this one, I said they need to put the gun of the like turret of the tank directly over someone's midsection and press fire.
That is what they're gearing up to do right now. They're gonna obliterate these preteens. Tobias picks them up as Hawk, and he's transporting them around. He accidentally drops Cassie, and she's fine, except that it's a column of tanks headed towards them. Yes. And she is stuck on her back when she falls, and they're going to squish her.
And then they roll over her, and she's fine. I remember this. She's like, wow, cockroaches are amazing. There, we've earned our educational label for the book.
Yes.
We can go on the BBC now because we're technically educational. Like a Doctor Who has to name drop one historical figure every episode.
Yes. This is like the biggest waste of time. And these books are pretty good at wasting time. But it's literally, she gets dropped, she's on her back, she's scared about a tank running her over. Chapter cut to chapter 11. The tank does run her over. She's fine. And then Tobias picks her up again and she's fine. Okay.
Wow. I'm glad we did that, I'm glad we all get that little adrenaline hit for the kids, Make them really think about what it'd be like to be squished. Oh, your gut's boiling out. Awesome.
The chapter somehow gets even stupider because for some reason, Cassie is then like, well, I guess the horses weren't yerked after all. What? Here are my notes. What are you talking about? You have literally zero additional information in this regard. You got caught before
the
you
soldiers were just driving them insane on purpose, and it was a regular slug.
I fucking guess. Like, literally, there's zero informational acquisition that could lead her to this conclusion. I have no fucking clue where this came from or why. There's, like, the horse situation has nothing to do with anything that just happened. Like, at all. I don't understand.
Those are just cop horses, soldiers.
Yeah.
We saw how crazy the soldiers behaved. Probably they did it with the horses too. They're just gun crazy kill machines.
This book is so fucking stupid. Why is it like this? Why did they write this one like this? It's so confusing. So, chapter 12. They find the horses. The horses are right there. And they leave.
Well, this sure is a normal horse. Mission accomplished.
I just don't understand.
I work with horses every day. Can confirm. Normal horse.
Normal horse. So they decide that instead of doing literally anything else here, they're gonna go and get unique horse morphs so they can spy on who they think are horse controllers, maybe, without being, like, obviously just duplicated horses, because horses are, like, pretty distinct and, I don't know, hair or whatever, patterns.
I believe that horses can tell the difference between specific other horses, and they are pretty distinct.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a horse. She's an adult woman, but I think she would still call herself a horse girl.
Yes. Yeah.
And these totally unique horses. These non-fungible horses.
Yeah. Anne Hughouse is famously an adult non-binary horse girl. And I can tell the various horses that they interact with apart. And I think, my
friend Sarah, has this gorgeous horse called Malicious Compliance, or Mal.
That's
great
the best horse name I've ever
I love when she
heard.
texts me pictures of him. Yeah, it's a great name, right? She's like, he never does anything bad. He just never does anything good either. Great horse. We love him.
So they're gonna go get horse DNA at racetracks. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's traditionally where you get it.
Yeah, that's where you get it. It is a good there will be a collection of horses there, that's for sure. So, chapter 13, they go to the racetracks as seagulls. They're doing seagull things and being like, ooh, food, ooh, yay.
They eat some fries. Look,
yes.
Honestly, I would love to turn into a seagull and steal fries. That sounds amazing.
Yes, I am certain I've told this story before on this podcast, and potentially the last time you and I recorded. The one time I've been to Atlantic City, I once had a seagull swoop down and steal my entire cheesesteak in one fell swoop. And, like, exactly, like, I can't even be mad.
He just wanted it more.
Right. Like, he earned that. He earned it.
How big was this seagull?
Normal seagull size, and it was a pretty fucking big cheesesteak.
The weight ratio on that, that seagull was jacked.
Yeah.
You have to believe this isn't the first time he's done that either.
Oh,
if
absolutely
he pulled
not.
it off so perfectly.
It was so smooth.
This wasn't like his training run at it.
No. This is his career.
Yeah. Like that one seagull everyone liked on the internet for a little while that would sneak into the snack shop at the beach and steal bags of chips, and people eventually just started leaving money to cover his chips because they liked it so much.
So while they're there, They go to a stall to demorph. Axe is with them this time. And somehow they forgot that Axe demorphs to Andalite form? And then they get caught. There's two old dudes. In chapter 14, there's two old dudes who are just watching this all occur. And they're like...
Do you think KJ Applegate just had like a really bad migraine the whole time she was writing this one?
I literally have no clue. I was Googling to be like, is this the first one that was ghost written? All I can think is that, like, this had to be... They had to be under a crunch for this one. Like
this does feel like the episode of a TV series that was like pitched in the writer's room, and then like they didn't do the continuity thinking, and someone's carrying the idiot ball, you know, by one of like the Cub writers. And just like, hey, give some experience. We got 28 episodes to fill. Just give them one. Yeah. Give them one.
Oh, those were the days. So their explanation for why there's a blue horse question mark here, Cassie says to these old men, we like blue horses. And Jake agrees and says, someday all horses will be blue. Kids.
That's so threatening.
It's so scary. It's so ominous. Someday.
You better get used to it because the genie's out of the bottle. We got blue horses now. Either blue your horse or get left behind.
Why is this book like this? One of my notes is just, are the Applegates okay? Like, this is...
I think canonically, no.
No.
I think they had some pretty rough stuff happen.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't quote you.
Yeah. So they get out of the situation by breaking some wood and conking that on the heads of the old guys, and I guess they escape and run around.
Yeah, they give them a concussion and internal hemorrhaging in their brain, which is what happens if you knock somebody out for real for more than like a second.
Yeah, after saying someday all horses will be blue.
Be blue. It's the last thing he remembers. You know, he wakes up total amnesia, except someday all horses will be blue. That's his new fucking mission in life, and he just starts buying paint and just breaking into stables, and everyone's like, he used to be so different. He used to be a kind man.
He's got like a conspiracy board set up, but it's just a single blue piece of yarn connecting a photo of a horse and like a blue paint chip.
To Blue from Blue's Clues, and it just says in the middle, what does it mean? A QAnon thing, this just says, follow the clues. Who is he? Why does he change appearance with the 3 different Steves? Shapeshifter? Question mark.
This man is going to be the one who figures out what's going on in this world. He's going to figure out.
Oh, entirely.
So Axe morphs back into a human person. Fucking finally, they get horse DNA. Cassie is trying to hide in a stall, and unfortunately the stall is, like, to go to horse race. So Cassie is now going to be horse in horse race.
I also recall that, like, the way that they're chased through the building by the people who work there, like, they describe it like as a zombie outbreak. Like,
oh my God,
genuinely,
yeah.
I would say the scariest passage in the whole book, and that includes all the stuff with like the actual aliens.
Yes, and the cockroach morph. Yeah, Yeah, we have to get our horror somewhere, and it's a chase scene that could have otherwise maybe been put to yakety sax. We'll put the horror there. So chapter 15, my note on the chapter title here is just, I don't even care about the Tobias situation anymore. I'm fucking over it. So
that's how they get you.
So she morphs the horse. She's talking about how fucked up horse eyes are because they're like on the sides of your head. It's gross, whatever. She tries to casually leave, but it's not. But she can't. She can't leave. So she's gonna be in the horse race. Chapter 16. So the others are now aware that she is going to be in the horse race. Marco is betting on her, which is very funny. Of course, he's such an opportunistic little fuck. And she, as a horse, is getting the scent of another horse who is cocky and rude and a stallion. And she fucking hates him because of his gross, cocky smell. So she decides to do the most logical thing that she could do in the situation. She thought speaks to her jockey. And she's like, hey, as a heads up, I'm kind of taking over the show here. And he is like,
my God, I knew it. I knew it was real.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, okay. I
mean, he's a jockey. He's got to have psychically communed with at least one other horse, right?
One would think and hope. I'm sure that he has just been waiting on an answer. Do you think after this, when he's back to like his actual horse, like that's gotta be heartbreak, right? Because I don't think that horse ever talks to him again.
Right? He's got to be like, please, I know you can do it. Please.
Are you
please,
mad
I'm not crazy.
Me?
Say something to him. Anyone. Meets up with the guy with the all horses will be blue theory. Yeah, they had it.
I want this buddy cop book. I want it so bad.
Yeah.
He just
call it something like I don't know, slow horses, or they shoot horses, don't they? Or feeling a little horse. No, come on, I can do better. Gallop pole. Maine men.
I feel like he just adds another single blue thread to a post-it note that just says, talking? That's it. So Cassie is running on this race, and she's trying to outrun the stallion. And the jockey is like, can we fucking chill? Like, you need to conserve your energy. We've got a while to go. And she's like, I'm not fucking here to win. I am a horsey having a great time.
I'm here to make friends.
Yes. Except for with that fucking stallion. She just wants to run. She's just having a great time. And she says, forget winning. The point is not to win. The point is just to run. Which in my notes, I say, oh, that's a good line. I don't think it is. In retrospect, I don't think that is a good line. I think that that's fine, I suppose. I think that this book just broke me. So, she keeps pushing herself. She's pushing past her horse instinct to slow down with her human brain. Just to win because she hates this fucking stallion. The jockey says, don't fade on me now, talking horse. And she,
That's what you would say in a situation like that.
That is what I would say. That is absolutely what I
You
would
don't know
say.
the horse's. Yeah, I mean, the horse has a human given name, but I wouldn't. If a horse started talking to me, I wouldn't be like, "Mr. Clip Clop, you can talk." I'd be like, "Oh, cool. What's your?"
Who are
But they didn't
you?
introduce themselves. They'd be like, talking horse."
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to just override whatever your name must be.
Mm-hmm.
So they win the race. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Chapter 17, they all got different horse morphs. So now we're flying back to Zone 91.
Mm-hmm. I liked all the back and forth in this book.
I don't know if I did.
That's why not?
This is
You got to explain, Will.
it's like they were engaging in a writing practice of how can we most efficiently and effectively waste time. They are maximizing time wasted here.
Got to keep this plate spinning. Come on.
So they fly back. Marco thinks that now that they all have racehorse morphs, they should all just stay racehorses and place bets on themselves and throw races and make a bunch of money. And I have to say, like, yeah, I actually think that's a really good plan. I think that's pretty smart. I think that they should be doing that. That sounds right.
I think Marco should become a business mogul.
Yes. I know that these books take place in the 90s, but I am picturing preteen Marco in a huge, like, adult-size 80s business suit in, like, a gaudy 80s office, yelling on a phone. Like, that is the vibe. I do feel like he would fit in that situation. So they're finally explaining everything going on to Axe because he's not been here for like any of this except for this stable bullshit. They land, they morph horses, they roll in the dirt because they don't want to look like perfectly pristine clean if they're trying to be wild horses. In my narration, in my notes, I say Cassian narration seems to suggest this is because they're horses who have lived in fancy stables, that they would like look too clean. But that is not how DNA works.
This is genetic.
Right. Like
in a pig pen, in peanuts, he has a rare genetic disorder that makes him incredibly dirty.
I thought that the reason that they wanted to go get dirtied up is because they were not covered in filth in their human forms, not because they have fancy horse stable DNA. Like,
this really does feel ghost written by someone who doesn't understand this series, who's like,
or horses.
They turn into the horses, the copy of the horses. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
So they don't have doit on them. They can't have the doit in the genes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to get clean, you just morph into a version of yourself that took a bath. Save water that way.
I like the idea that this ex-mafia goon is now the ghostwriter. He's retired.
I've been watching
from his life
The
of
Chair
crime.
Company, and we have one of the characters he just lives in my head now. He's such a distinct. He is like an ex-mafia goon, but he's just such a weird guy. I love it.
I've heard the show is great. I need to check it out.
It's really good. Would recommend that. And last time we talked, I told you to check out Deep Space Nine.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
got
still
the
have not
most
done
shitty
that.
little bullshit men per capita of any show I've ever seen. This also has a lot of shitty little bullshit men, but in kind of a different way.
I love shitty little bullshit men, e.g. Marco.
They're my favorite. Yeah.
So, chapter 18, they saunter into Zone 91 as horses, and they find the other horses who are just speaking out loud in, like, space common, which is called Gallard. Axe can understand what they're saying.
Like horse translators on, as I recall.
Yes.
It's really stupid.
It's really stupid. It's unbelievably stupid. So Axe can understand this. He says that they are basically saying, stick to the plan so we can be done with this dumb shit. Let's just get it done. Girl, me too. Me too. So they split up. Half of the group is going with one group of horse controllers. The other is going with another because the horses are all splitting up. Axe doesn't know why, if they're controllers and they all have yerks, they're not speaking with the yerk language, unless it's because they got like clearance rack, speech, translator, synthesizer things. And
yeah, these are the shit. This is a false flag operation by the yerks to make it seem like it's a different alien species.
Yeah. Sure. And then Cassie, who is very anxious, she says, "How do you like horse morph, Tobias?" Because this is the first time we've seen Tobias morph anything other than a hawk. Because he did that the one time and got stuck forever. And he says, compared to flying, it's dull. Compared to the old days when I wouldn't have been able to morph with you guys at all, it's great. To which in my notes I say, don't you dare say this shit to me right now. I'm so pissed off.
We don't need to discuss it anymore. I don't have more complicated feelings than that.
It's normal. We don't need to unpack anything. This is like literally this and another moment where Tobias is talking shit about the horse eyes, and he says, "I miss my real eyes," which seems to suggest not that he means his human eyes, but his hawk eyes, because he's pissed that he can't read a sign on a building far away. And he calls them his real eyes. And again, in my notes, all I say about this is, don't say this to me right now.
Is he a boy who morphed a hawk, or a hawk who morphed a boy?
Canonically, he's both now. So, chapter 19, their horses and the horses with some of the horse controllers run into this hangar in this military base. And so they run into the hangar with the horse controllers, and there's obviously fucking calamity because a bunch of horses just ran into a hangar on a military base. And there is some dialogue here from like the soldiers in this hangar that I found very fucking funny. This is just like back-to-back lines of dialogue from different soldiers. And it goes, "What the blazing Hades is going on here?" Insane thing for a soldier to say. The other says, "Stop those horses. Shoot. Don't shoot." And then finally...
Not a cousin in basic.
Finally, my favorite is, "Help! I'm allergic to horses."
This is a nightmare scenario. They promised me this wouldn't happen. They promised. Sarge, please. What do I do? I left my EpiPen back in the Jeep.
So, I kind of forgot that, like, amidst all of this, in this military base, there is, like, a capital S secret. This is why there's, like, yerks and controllers here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sure. Sure. I was really so focused in my notes on the Tobias situation that I did not pay a lot of attention to the actual situation afoot. And you know what? Ultimately, that's fucking fine. Um, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. But it's fine. It's literally fine. So they get into the room with the secret that they're trying to find.
Mm-hmm. This big secret.
Big secret.
Oh, it's so amazing. This secret is going to pay off in such a big way.
It really is. This is
Oh,
what
it's
they've been
so
waiting
important to
for.
the whole rest of the series. This secret. Oh, this secret, you guys.
This is how they save the world. So I'm going to read the narration here a bit with the description of this room with the secret. She says, Cassie says in the narration, it was glass on all sides, glass that looked like it could be a foot thick. Through that glass, we saw a pedestal of shining steel, and all around that pedestal were cameras, sensors, wires, lights, glowing screens, and rows of massive computers. Now, we've had other similar descriptions of devices and what have you that were done like this, like the fucking Kandrona ray in the one book that the Yeerks need
Yeah,
to
the
survive.
Kandrona.
Yeah,
That thing. Yeah. Come on.
So I was really like, maybe this book has purpose. Narration continues, that on the pedestal there's something that is like a cube with the corners rounded off. The entire surface, this is still like the thing in the room. The entire surface was covered with tubing and painted symbols. At one end, there was an opening large enough for a person to walk inside. I could just barely get a glimpse of the inside. It was smooth, a lovely green in color with soft lighting. There was some sort of instrumentation on one wall. So they have this like sort of room like thing, structure that is behind this glass and being monitored by like all of these cameras and what have you. And as they are paying attention to all of this and listening to the Yeerks, they realize the Yeerks have no fucking clue what this is either. So they are also trying to figure out what is going on here because they also think this must be something really important. And it seems like the military has understood that they have found something of alien origin, and that is why they are monitoring it so closely. A colonel is bellowing, "Sergeant, get those horses out of my facility now!" "Yes, sir," the sergeant yelled. "Horses! About face!" And Cassie says, it must have surprised the poor sergeant when, amazingly, we all complied. Animorphs and Yeerks, we turned and walked away.
2 more guys for the horse conspiracy. Their numbers grow daily. Can you imagine the next time he tries that? He's like, look, I can command horses with my voice. And he just gets run over. Or worse, he's just like immediately taken to a black site being like, we need to study his horse powers. This is the next stage in horse-human evolution.
We get 2 more lines on the conspiracy board from each of these soldiers. One says compliant and the other says allergies. So, chapter 20, Rachel, they are escaping Zone 91, and Rachel says, well, that was stupid from start to finish. Yes. And then they get out. Visser 3 arrives with bug fighters because he's realized that the Animorphs are there. He's yelling at them, and I don't know. He arrives and like immediately shoots somebody, and Visser 3 says, "Weeks have been wasted setting up this effort. First, we lost that clumsy fool, Corin 547, when he was bitten by a snake." So there was a snake bite. "And now we've lost poor Gillet 926. Gillet 926 was the dude that he just fucking blasted. So he's literally the Eric Andre meme.
We're all looking for the guy who did this.
So then he sees the Animorphs and he's like, "Oh, that's the fucking Animorphs. Definitely." And he's like, "Let's kill them." And so they're running away. And then finally, Axe is like, "Hey, I knew what that thing was. You guys just weren't listening to me. That they're monitoring." And they're like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Yeah. So that was a toilet. Like a pretty outdated toilet."
Like that was like a porta-john. They're just looking at the place where we went to take dumps.
Yep.
Which this is a very like what's the word I'm looking for? Poop based. There's like a smart word that means poop based chapter, especially because Cassie tries to bluff out the Yeerks to say that they're not the Animorphs by taking a big dump, as I recall.
Oh my god, that's right.
A big old horse dump.
And
they're like, "No way the Animorphs with their dignity would dump in front of us."
Yeah, but then they're also like, "Let's kill him anyway."
Yeah. No harm. Look, we're already all riled up.
Yeah.
We need a W. Let's just kill some horses. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and like
Scatological.
There we go. I love some like really stupid fucking humor. This kind of humor, not for me. I'm sure for some people, and especially the demographic that this book was meant for, that would have been very funny. For me, I simply was resigned to what this book was doing to me.
I guess that's just what my life is now. I read books about alien toilets.
Yep. So then Cassie, so they go back home and she's like, "Well, that was stupid." And then at 4 a.m., she realizes that the point of the Yeerks trying to get the alien artifact wasn't the artifact itself. It was about the existence of the artifact, that this is proof that aliens exist, which is bad when you're aliens secretly trying to take over the world without anybody knowing about aliens. So then they decide that they're gonna go. She thinks that they're gonna go yerk a bunch of them at horses at the gardens tomorrow.
I don't like it when you use it as an active verb.
So they're gonna, I don't know, they're gonna go to the gardens. I was so fucking over this book at this point. I was so over it.
They're going on the family outing that all the troops are looking forward to go yerk 'em.
Oh my god, that's right. Because the soldiers are going on a field trip.
They're having a big event. It's it's a nice little treat for them. Look, they need morale boosters too. Or I think it's actually a weekend, so it's just like, oh, we got a big discount if we all go together.
We got a group rate. So, God, I completely fucking forgot about this entire section of the book. This book is doing too much. So...
Yeah, I was genuinely worried we wouldn't be able to get to this section in time with the 45 minutes we have left.
Yes.
This section is so stupid. This is the dumbest part. And it's already a really dumb book.
Like,
yeah,
we're gonna blow through this because I fucking can't. I can't deal with this.
Okay, so yes. let's get into it. Let's get to the fucking Scooby-Doo. We're all pretending to hold very still to be wax figures.
Oh my God, that's
so
right.
stupid.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
So stupid. So
and Mr. Six shows up too.
3. No.
Mr.
Yes.
3.
Wait, okay. Yes. So they go to the gardens, which is an amusement park. And the Yerks only have like 2 real options for grabbing people efficiently, which is like a log ride, which is half dark ride and half tunnel of love with a drop, or the haunted mansion. They don't call it that, but I don't care. So they get on the tunnel of love ride. Jake and Cassie do. And Marco is, I guess they're all there. They sit directly in front of Captain Torelli, who was the captain who originally came and swooped them up and was interrogating them. He immediately recognizes Marco's little shithead voice. And he's like, hey, it's you fucking kids. Oh my God, you're here again. You're under arrest. And Marco is like, I don't think that you can arrest us. You're military police, and this is not a military, right? Like this is not your jurisdiction.
You don't have jurisdiction here, dog.
Captain Torelli says, okay, bet. And he just calls park security on his cell phone. Which,
you know what? You've got a good point, you little shithead kid.
So,
all right, we'll do it your way.
Yeah, so then they decide, okay, well, we'll jump off the log ride. So they're in the water, and then Captain Torelli does because he wants to chase them and arrest them, and Cassie gets dragged away from the others, and then she's separated by a log boat, and then she can't get out of there because of the current, and Captain Torelli the whole time is just like, ooh, oh no, I'll get you kids, and then
you're meddling kids and you're meddling kids in your Andalite.
And then Cassie falls down the drop. She survives. It's fine. And so they're being followed by security, which, like, Cassie, your parents work here. They work here. Like, luckily, this dude still thinks that her name is Cindy Crawford, because otherwise she'd be getting her parents so fucking fired.
This guy is dumb as rocks. How did he rise this high in the military organization?
Yeah, that's never happened before. So then they decide, okay, we'll go try the haunted mansion. Sure. So they go to the haunted mansion. They're still being chased by Captain Torelli, who gets into a ride vehicle behind them. I guess cartoon-ass plan. And then they find
just
that
get off and run alongside the ride, man. It's faster.
No, protocol. So they find that Visser 3, some Hork-Bajir, and Grizzly, Rachel, Hawk, Tobias, and Rattlesnake Axe, they're all here because they went to the Haunted Mansion first, and they are all, like you said, posing like animatronics on a tableau in this, like, Haunted Mansion ride. Sure. Okay.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's
so dumb.
Everyone's been watching Scooby-Doo episodes, is what I'm hearing. It's like the Yerksers have gotten really into it.
Yeah.
It's like,
their new favorite.
Humans have vision, have movement-based vision. If you just hold still, they can't see you.
So, I don't know. So so they get off to be part of the tableau and help, and people are seeing Cassie mid-morph as she's morphing a wolf, but people who are still in the ride think that she's just a cool werewolf, which, okay, sure.
You know, if I was on a horror ride and I saw someone turning into a wolf, my first thought wouldn't be, holy shit, a real werewolf. It would be, these animatronics are insane.
Yes. Absolutely same. This is, I think, the one moment that I'll give this book of, like, You can have that one. You can have that one.
Mm-hmm.
So Cassie realizes that they're probably trying to take Captain Torelli. He seems important. So she can smell with her wolf nose that they've taken him outside. So Visser 3, some Hork Bajir and Torelli are just like walking out around in the open. So I guess people just think that the aliens are like face characters like in the park, that they're like, you know, like in mascot costumes or something. I don't know, but they're just walking out in the open. And then
you would have a good 30 seconds of people assuming that before it broke. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think that after 30 seconds, they'd be like, no, we don't have the technology to make costumes this good.
Yeah, no, that's an actual alien.
Yeah, that's a real guy. What's going on here?
And then they all get into a big alien and creature fight in the middle of a parade. So everybody thinks this is just part of the parade. They think that the carnage,
fucking sick ass bloodshed parade. Yeah. Everyone's cheering as they just get sprayed with arterial juices.
Yeah, this parade fucking owns.
One of them's holding up their kid, being like, "Oh, try and get some in your mouth, honey. That'll be a good picture."
Mommy, I got some viscera for free.
Now you put that back. They make you pay for that if you try and leave the park with it.
So they get away on some bug fighter. The Visser 3 and his little cronies get away on a bug fighter that was parked on top of the alien ride. Sure. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Chapter 27, final chapter. Fine. It's fine. They're watching the news, and the news says, oh, some pranksters broke in. And Captain Torelli says he's looking for children named Fox Mulder, Dana Scully, and Cindy Crawford. A journalist starts interrogating him on what a military officer is doing at a company party for like something called Gondor Industries. And he's just like, don't even fucking worry about it. This is actually, nothing occurred here last night. Nothing's ever happened, actually. Bye. So that's fine. Rachel suggests that they should tell the military that they are closely guarding a toilet. And Cassie, truly sick as hell, says, I'm just going to read for the passage here. I shook my head. No, Rachel, that wouldn't be kind at all. He and the others have a meaning to their lives now. Why should we destroy all that and make them feel trivial and foolish?
Let them examine the toilet.
It's fine. This is where our military resources should go. You know, I do side with her. I do think that she's right.
I pay my taxes. Let them spend it on toilets. As many toilets as there are stars in the sky.
Apparently, probably literally. Actually, probably quite a lot more. If I'm not going to do space math, I'm not going to do space math.
If you assume, if every star has a culture, certainly.
Right, right. That's what I was going for, and then I realized I don't. I'm not going to do space math.
Yeah, fuck that. Hey, listeners, write in if you've done the math to tell us exactly how many toilets there would be in a reasonably inhabited universe.
Yeah.
Whoever's closest wins a free sticker.
We don't have Nevermorphed stickers yet, so I will just put a sticker that I find in the mail for you.
But it's
sticker for
it's Price is Right rule, so it has to be closest without going over.
Of course. So we've got our. This is the end of the book. I don't think there's anything else to say, but we do have our 2 segments that we need to close out with here. Our first segment is Nowvermorph. If you were going to morph into a creature, right now, what would it be?
Right now, you know what? It's a chilly winter. I wouldn't mind getting a little cozier. Oh, actually, I've got a bunch of snow on the ground. I bet it would be like really fun to be like a husky or an Arctic fox in this situation.
Ooh,
You know, because they're
yeah.
really adapted for it. They can burrow, they can tunnel. I think 2 hours as one of those just running around in the snow outside right now. I think that would be really fun, really fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. This is my dog Pastina's first winter as like not an infant baby. And
Mhm.
when she was first born, she did not want to go outside in the cold or the snow at all. She hated it. As a big kid, she's obsessed. She just wants to be outside like all day. And it's like 12 fucking degrees. She wants to constantly be outside. She is uh leaping and hopping and pouncing and trouncing through the snow so much. It's so fucking cute. And it does look extremely fun. I think that Husky is a really good pull for right now. Fox too, but I feel like they have less fun. I feel like that's just their day to day.
I've seen videos of Arctic foxes like playing in the snow, but I do feel like, probably they're not having quite as much fun. Yes.
Yeah. For
Little crow would
me,
also be fun to do like little slides down roofs that are covered in snow. Do you know they
oh
do that?
yes,
They slide down roofs for fun.
I love corvids so fucking much. I love them so fucking much. Of
Really
course
good.
they do. Of
Well, have
course
you
they
read
do.
the book Hollow Kingdom?
No, do tell.
It's about a crow and his best friend, a dog, and they are surviving a zombie apocalypse where the humans have become zombies, but it's told from their point of view.
Holy shit. That fucking rules.
Yeah,
What?
it's really good. I liked it a
That's
lot.
so fun.
It's a really fun little book.
Oh my god. Yeah. Also, fantastic cover art.
Yeah, yeah, they did a good job on it. Really caught my eye in a bookstore, and I read the blurb, and I was like, "Oh, I love this. Let's check
Yeah.
this out." I'm like, I haven't seen a book with this pitch before.
No.
Like, I read a lot
No.
of fantasy and sci-fi, and like, there's kind of have the basic pitches, yeah, but this is not one of them.
Yeah, this is
And
distinctly
the
a
the
new one.
and it's written by an author. The author, she really loves animals. Has done a lot of thought into like what their lives are like. She has like pet crows herself,
Aww.
So yeah.
I love that. I will put this on my list. My Navromorph is a bird. I'm gonna put a link to this little guy in our recording chat. I would be a thing called
Oh,
a Shima Inaga bird or a Japanese snow fairy bird. I just found out about this little guy like yesterday. This thing is so fucking tiny and round and cute. It's called a snow fairy for a reason. So these things are 13 to 15 centimeter in length, including their long tail.
oh, they're little
They're
guys.
really small. They weigh 7 to 9 grams. They are,
Oh no.
yeah. So they're like a fluffy white snowball with very pretty, like dark brown wings with like a paler brown patch on their back. Um, they are smaller than they even look because their feathers are so fluffy that it's like when you have a small dog that's really fluffy and then you see them when they're getting a bath and it's like that is an insect, you know? Um
Yeah.
that kind of situation. Um they look so beautiful when they fly because the underside of their wings is also pure white. They're so cute. They live in forested woodlands with trees and shrubs. They're adapted for the cold climate. They're from Hokkaido. They just seem, and they live in flocks. So, like, they've got friends. I think that this just seems like the ideal winter situation other than probably like a husky or a fox. I think that you and I think we've cornered the market here. So this is my now vermorph. It's the cutest little guy I ever done seen. I just think it's so sweet. I like that they got friends, and I like that they're so goddamn cute, and I like that they're warm in the winter because it's fucking cold out right now.
It is.
Are you ready for our next segment? Forever morph. If you were going to become a Nothlit and morph into something forever, what would it be? Now, with the caveat here that, as always, I am not giving my forever morph. My job here is I am a scientist doing science. I am taking the data and I am crunching the numbers and I am finding out what is the most optimal forever morph form, sourced from everybody who comes on the show. Despite the fact that, as former guest Adam Boomis pointed out, I am kind of asking people about their fursona. We just have to accept this. We just have to accept this. So, Max, what is your forever morph?
Cleaner version of myself. Me right after a really good shower. Because it's genetic.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a really good one. I'm not even gonna press you for a quote-unquote real one. I think that you get to get away with this. I think that this is what goes down in history as your forevermore. Max, this book was so fucking stupid.
It was so dumb. This book was 100% dumb mode, stupid pilled. It was. I remember when I read it, I was like, this is a lot of fun. I'm having fun with how dumb this is. And then I was like, I can't imagine reading 30 or however many of these. Will's brain must be mush.
No, they're all... None of them are like this. None of them are
sure,
like this.
At least one is, Will. At least one.
like the third or something book in this series, we have Jake with a yerk in his head. So first off, we have that experience. And then the way that they resolve this issue is to basically lock him up so that he can starve the yerk to death because they have to feed every 3 days. And so we have Jake talking to this yerk that is trying to control him, trying to take over his bodily autonomy, but then also slowly starving to death. And we have Jake experience the feeling and the thoughts and the emotions of one of his opponents starving to death. It's harrowing. It's beautiful. It's like some of the best, most fucked up horror and sci-fi and war writing I've ever read, ever. And like, this is my jam. And then we get this.
It's like a big dump, right?
Yeah. Why did they do this? I'm so glad that I had you specifically on for this book. Everybody we know, everybody who's been on this podcast is a goofus. But I do feel like you specifically are the correct fit for this one. Yeah, and I hope you take that as a colossal compliment. I do mean it as one.
Thank you, I do. Namaste. Well, this has been so fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on again.
Yeah, my pleasure. Glad we could make it work. And if you ever do find those files, I do think you should release them as like a Patreon exclusive or something.
Oh, I absolutely will.
Do like a side-by-side version and just like see where the differences are.
Oh, that would be
follow
so
the clues.
Fun. Yes. Mm-hmm. I know. The thing is, like, I think that you and I are both on the same page here that the biggest loss is that I know those jokes were so fucking good, and I'm glad we have additional great jokes, but I want those too.
It is what it is.
It is
All
what it is.
jokes are made to be lost like tears in the rain.
I'm always saying that, yeah.
Yeah, you're known for it. That and the litany against fear.
Right. which I recite in nays and whinnies and horse stamps.
That's correct. As you should. And that was its original language, and it loses something in the translation.
Yeah, the movies really don't convey that all of the characters are horses.
Lynch's gets closest, really.
Nevermorphed is hosted, edited, and produced by Will Williams. Our theme music is The Chase by Joey Hendricks. Our title is by Eddie Feely, and this podcast would not exist without Mike Schubert's podcast, Potterless and the Newest Olympian. You can find his works at shub.es, that's shub.es. Nevermorphed is a proud member of Hug House Productions. You can find more at hughouse.productions and follow us on Tumblr at Nevermorphed. Get morphin'!